Welcome to the postcast. David Locke along with Ron Boone after the Jazz win it 113-94. They really win it in the second half, 58-31. Mavericks played last night against the Lakers, and you wondered if they were going to run out of gas being shorthanded without Dirk, without Chris Kaman. So how much did they run out of gas, and how much did the Jazz just put it on them?
I think the fact that the Jazz put it on them in that third period and really caused them to run out of gas. I thought their energy level really dropped there late in that third period when Mo Williams got it going, and the energy level of Jazz picked up. It's tough coming in here to play. Why? Because of the altitude, the fact that the Jazz are very good here at home. Traditionally, they've been one of the best in the league, in this arena. So I thought the energy level of the Jazz really tired the Mavericks out.
Jazz hit 6 threes tonight, 2 by Marvin, 2 by Mo, and 2 by Randy Foye as the new guns, and they hit 5 of those in the second half, hitting 5 of 10. Bunch of those in transition. We saw more willingness to pull up and take that three-point shot.
And we also saw Tyrone Corbin draw a three-point shot out of the timeout. This is something we've never seen here with the Jazz. I mean, they only had 14 three-point shot attempts tonight. They averaged 13 during preseason. I expect that to go up. I expect them to have at least 18 attempts a game, strictly because of those three guys, as you just mentioned, the new arrivals to this basketball team that are capable of shooting the threes.
Last year, Marvin Williams scored 20 points in 2 games. He scores 21 in his debut for the Jazz. Now, 21 points, 3 rebounds and assists. Is this what we should expect out of him, or is it going to just be a different guy every night?
I hope we can expect him to be consistent enough, but I really think there's going to be a lot of guys that's going to get an opportunity to lead this team in scoring and play well. Why? Because there's enough talent on this basketball team that if you're having a bad night, that Coach Corbin can go somewhere else. But other than the fact that Marvin now is getting more minutes, I think he's going to get more minutes, consistent minutes on this team than he did last year, and he's going to get a chance to play an overall game and not just a spot-up shooter, that type of thing that, what we saw him play there when he was playing for the Atlanta Hawks.
The balance was pretty amazing tonight. 6 players in double figures. Only 1 player goes over 30 minutes in this game tonight for the Jazz. And then you also got really good contributions from Damari Carroll, Derek Favors, and Enes Kanter, who weren't over double figures. We saw the depth just wear out the Mavericks tonight.
Well, this is something you and I talked about. I think this is something that's going to be discussed probably throughout the season is minutes. Who's going to get the minutes, and it's going to be something that's definitely going to be watched.
Okay, the one thing that wasn't good was the first half defense. In fact, it was awful.
Yeah.
The Jazz allowed 63 points in the first half. How disconcerting is that when the Mavericks were fresh, they really just torched the Jazz tonight?
Well, this is the Jazz first ball game. The Mavericks had a ball game under the belt, so the Jazz made some adjustments at the half, and it really paid off. But that first half, they looked like they were trying to find out how to play this team. What can we do to be more effective in this team? Is our game plan going to work? The adjustments they made at halftime, you heard Coach Sanders tell you that closing out on the threes, that type of thing, was going to help this team, and obviously it did. Mavericks did not have a three-point shot in the third period, did they?
No, they did not.
They did not. So.
Darren Collison came into this game. He averaged 19 points a game against the Jazz. Was the most he averaged against any team in the NBA. He showed it as he put up 13 in the first half. What adjustments did the Jazz make in that second half to take Collison out of the game?
Well, I thought that third period, the fact that the Jazz start to shoot better in that third period, they end up shooting 48% in that third period. For the most part, that's going to slow you down a little bit because you're taking the ball out of the net. Where the Jazz struggled as they only shot 42% in that first quarter, they were giving up a lot of transition threes and a lot of early transition points, and I think that's where Collison's at his best, where he can push the ball off the floor and take advantage of situations.
Alec Burks is not in the rotation tonight.
It's tough, and I hope that he just stays focused because he'll definitely get his chance. But I mean, it's a blow. Because he ended the season last year getting a lot of time and thinking that this year I was going to be playing more minutes and definitely be a part of the rotation. So this was a blow, especially when you're sitting down there on the end of the bench and you're waiting for your name to be called and it doesn't get called. And I'm sure tonight he's going to be talking to his family or whatever and that type of thing. But it's important for Coach Corbin to keep him focused, and telling him you're definitely going to get your chance.
Can you play 11 guys?
It's awfully tough to play 11 guys. I mean, some coaches would like to play 8 or 9 guys, especially when you have guys like the Jazz have that can play a couple of different positions. I mean, when you have guys that can play 2 positions, that's like having an extra man. And it's awfully tough to play 10. You see it a lot during the course of the year, especially late in the year when you're trying to keep guys a little bit fresh going into the playoffs, but it's awfully tough to do.
Our next stop is New Orleans. We'll face Anthony Davis, the rookie. I think he's going to be incredible. They battled the Spurs and then just couldn't close it tonight. They had control of that game most of the way, lost it late. Then we'll go play San Antonio, Memphis. But big man rookies in the NBA, I think this guy's going to probably be one of those huge impact guys. I think he had about 17.7 rebounds tonight. Pretty excited to see him.
Well, I watched him play the other night on television. He's very, very long. He likes to block shots. I think he's going to be a talent. Once he maybe puts on a couple of pounds where he doesn't get pushed around, then I think he's going to be pretty good. It's amazing how Kentucky just continues to bring guys out, one-and-done players that make an impact in the NBA.
And now the question is whether Eric Bledsoe is actually better than John Wall on that other Kentucky team.
Wow.
All right, Jazz win it tonight, commanding the second half, outscoring them 58-31, winning at 113-94. We'll be back with you when we come to you from New Orleans. This has been your postcast. We'll give it to you after every game. And Locked On Jazz. Thanks on behalf of Ron Boone. I'm David Locke. Have a good night. Jazz win.